Hello all, this is Dr. Dave Maslach talking to you about reciprocity.com. The E is written with a 3, and in this particular video I want to talk to you about hope during the PhD process. So if you don't know me, I'm an Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship, and I created this whole Reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There were so many people that helped me out that I wanted to pay the favor forward and help you out. All right, so I don't know if you're like me in the PhD journey. Maybe you are an undergraduate student, maybe you're a master's student, maybe you're doing your PhD right now and watching these videos. Maybe you are an assistant or full professor, some prestigious professor around the world that are watching these videos. But I don't know if you're like me, but I do have a lot of negative emotions when I am doing research. And I think a large part of this has to do with doing something that nobody else has done before. And so you often feel very alone during the process. Nobody else has discovered this thing or gone into this process. You often feel very alone. You often feel sometimes you feel excitement, sometimes you feel anger that you can't get something done. I feel a lot of frustrations on a regular basis. But what really helped me out when I was going through the process, and what gave me a tremendous amount of hope, is when I knew that there was other people around the world experiencing these kind of emotions, and I knew that there was other people that were going through the same process. So that's what I want to talk to you about today, is how do you actually deal with some of these emotions that you might be experiencing, and just give you a little bit of hope during the process that you can actually complete this thing. Other people that have completed the PhD journey, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe it's actually just finishing your PhD. Maybe it's starting it and then stopping it. Maybe it is, becoming a prestigious professor. It's all different for everybody. That's how I want to point out, is that it's unique and different, and the PhD journey is very unique for everybody that goes through this process, and we all have different conceptualizations of what it means to you. But if you're in a moment where you're not necessarily feeling all that good, I want you to do a couple of things in terms of giving yourself a little bit of hope during the process. The first thing that I want you to do is, realize that it's just emotions. You're just dealing with emotions, and emotions is, it's one thing that we all just personally deal with. And if you think about this and you just say, well, it's just an emotion, it's not necessarily, doesn't eat you up as much. And then if you're really struggling with that, you definitely go get some help. That's going to help you out in terms of going and talking with somebody. Maybe it's a counselor, maybe it's your physician, whatever it is. But I also want you to start rationalizing and thinking about what it is you want to do next, right? So I don't want you just to kind of sit there and sort of wander through things, but actually sit down and get a pen and paper, get some sort of list, write whatever the problem is that you're experiencing, and actually write it down. It's going to get you to do a couple of things. It's going to, and try to solve it as if you would solve a regular problem. It's going to get you to think through the problem a little bit more rationally, and it's going to calm you down a lot more, because it's going to give you some steps on how to actually deal with this particular problem, whatever it is that you're working on, whatever it is that you're dealing with. So even if it's sort of things that you're dealing with your family, for example, and maybe it's your spouse, just sit down and start writing things down and actually trying to make sense of what this is on a piece of paper, and write down pros and cons, do all that kind of stuff that you know about in terms of coming up with some sort of solution. It's going to help you out a tremendous amount in terms of getting yourself some hope. The second thing that I want you to do, and this is going to be the most important thing, is I want you to get out there and actually go and start talking to people. And it doesn't matter what it is. Maybe it's doing YouTube videos like this. Maybe it is going and just talking to random people. Go to a grocery store and just strike up a conversation. I know that seems a little crazy, but what that's going to do, and I think normally with us that are probably a little bit more introverted, we struggle with communicating with other people, and when we do research, we kind of get in our own little self, our own little funk, and our minds get sort of just thinking about that one particular thing. So if you go and actually talk to people, that's going to do a lot of benefit for you. It's going to give the blood flowing in your body. It's going to make you feel happy. You're going to get a lot of positive responses when you deal with these emotions, but just going and talking to people. It really does help when you are going through the process and dealing with all this kind of stuff. It's just going out and chatting with people. It doesn't matter who it is. Try to find a buddy that you can talk to. And if you find that buddy that you can talk to, sometimes that really does help. So that's all I want to talk about today is just, this whole project that I'm working on. It really is about giving hope and helping out other people as much as I possibly can, because I know that there's other people that experience this kind of stuff and deal with all this kind of stuff around the world. And I know that if somebody is out there just talking about it openly, helping you sort of rationally think through these things, that it's going to give you hope. And it's going to benefit a lot of things. It's not just going to benefit one person. That is, it's benefiting me by talking about it. But it's also going to benefit science, right? And it's going to benefit you as well. So what do I mean by that? It's going to benefit you because it's going to help you sort of sort through these problems. Everybody, what's funny with the internet, it's really kind of hilarious, is that the internet is all our sort of personal counselor. When we have these kind of issues, nobody wants to go talk to somebody else about these kind of issues. But there's some random guy on the internet talking about it. It's a little bit easier to sort of process, right? And to know that you're not kind of a crazy individual. And then in terms of science, I think this is where the fundamental breakdown in science is right now. It's nothing to do with research methods. It's nothing to do with knowing your theory and stuff like that. It's actually to do with motivation, and to know that you're not the only person that's dealing with this. It's a tough journey. It's really difficult to go through, and to be a scientist, to be a social scientist, to be a natural scientist, whatever it is. It's really tough and it's very difficult to do. And I think most of us either just get thrown into the cage, and then we have to wrestle that lion by ourselves. Or most of us quit. A lot of us quit because it is a tough journey, because there's not a lot of resources like this around. So I want you to know that I'm going to be here for you, trying to give you as much hope during the PhD process, wherever that journey is, wherever you are, and just know that there are other people around the world that are dealing with the same issues. And if you need anything at all, make sure you leave some comments below and let me know, and I'll try to help you out in terms of answering questions. I'm always here. That's kind of my policy. It's open door policy. Is I want to make sure that you and I are solving these problems together. And if it's a random person on the internet, maybe you don't have a supervisor that you can talk to. Maybe you don't have a lot of friends or whatnot, but if there's a random guy on the internet that's willing to do this, some kooky guy on the internet that's willing to do this, you should jump on the chance. Leave comments, let me know what I can do and what I can answer for you. All right, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel, and let's make this movement happen. Take care. Bye.